Hi everyone, this is Coach Onyinye Okoye, and in today's training we're going to be diving deep into the world of prospecting. I bring to bear my over 1 decade of experience partnering with Oriflame, and I want to share with you what prospecting means to me, how I navigate prospecting, understanding prospecting, and also offline prospecting versus online prospecting. As you know, prospecting is what gets people into the funnel, right? Before you begin to filter through and before you recruit. And in this video, I'm going to share with you what prospecting is. I'm sure you already have an idea of what prospecting means to you or what prospecting is. But let's dive straight into it, right? So what is prospecting? What is prospecting? Drop a comment below. What is your idea of prospecting? But let me start by saying this. No prospect, no business. No prospect equals no business. No conversations equal no growth. Yes. So if you know you want to grow, you need to have these conversations, be it offline or online. If you know you want to grow, you have to prospect, right? And I'm going to be looking down from time to time because I have some notes here and I'm going to be referencing these notes. Now, it's also important to know that to grow your business, you need people. It's a game of numbers. And you need to connect with people in order for you to grow your business. So let us define prospecting. What is prospecting, right? Prospecting can simply be defined as the process of getting people to get interested in your product, your service, or your opportunity, right? Or prospecting can be defined as the process of finding people who may be interested in your product, your service, or your opportunity. I'll take that again. Prospecting may be defined as the process of finding people, right, who would be interested in your product, in your service, or in your opportunity. So how do we find these people, right? And the truth is that not everybody will say yes to you. Not everybody will grab the opportunity. Not everybody is going to buy from you. But guess what? Somebody's going to buy. But how do you get to that somebody? You need to be bold enough, consistent enough, confident enough to keep going at it until you find the people who are deeply interested in what your product or your service offers. Now, the biggest mistake I see that new brand partners or brand partners make in general is that they say, oh, I'm posting, nobody liked it. I'm posting, nobody has asked me how much, right? I'm posting, nobody's interested. I'm inviting, but I'm not converting. That's the mistake a lot of people make. And I want to say that prospecting is like planting a seed. When you plant a seed, many of us expect a forest the next day. However, prospecting is like farming, right? You plant a seed, you nurture it, you grow it, you water it, right? You listen to it, you look at it. If you see weeds growing out, you remove the weeds so that the plants can have room to grow, right? And eventually, you now begin to harvest. Now, let me say this. People rarely buy from you, or people rarely say yes to the opportunity the first time you introduce it to them. People need multiple exposures in order for them to say yes, right? So consistency over time can create trust. You know, I used to always talk about the know, the like, and the trust factor. People have to get to know you first, like you, and then trust you. Now, you understand what prospecting is. Prospecting is finding people who may be interested in your product, in your service, or in your opportunity. That's what prospecting is, right? And prospecting happens in 2 ways. It can be offline prospecting or online prospecting, right? So let's dive into it. Offline prospecting versus online prospecting. Some people will say, oh, I prefer offline. Some people will say, I prefer online. But the truth is, you have to have a mix of both. And I'm going to tell you how to do that. Now, let's start with offline prospecting. What is offline prospecting? Offline prospecting is a traditional way, of connecting with people, of building a relationship that can lead people to purchase a product or to grab an opportunity. So I like to say offline prospecting is a traditional relationship-based, kind of prospecting. What is an example of offline prospecting? Talking to your friends, talking to your colleagues, right, at work, talking to people you meet in the taxi, talking to people you meet in the bus, going to networking events, people you meet in church, people you meet in mosque, right? People you meet in school when you go to do school runs, or if you are still attending school yourself. People you meet in the salon, people you meet in the market, people that referrals. Somebody will refer somebody to you. You have a physical conversation with that person. People you meet in your community. Offline prospecting is interacting with people, networking with people, having conversations with people that you meet in your day-to-day life in different locations, right? That's what we call offline prospecting. Now, I want to say this. Many people see offline prospecting as tedious. Some recipients see offline prospecting as offensive, right? And I want to let you know that offline prospecting has transitioned. It's no longer about stopping people on the road, sharing a flyer with them, or stopping somebody in their tracks and trying to say, oh, have you heard about Oriflame? You can make money, or you can do this, or you can do that. That's not how to communicate offline prospecting. I want to share this secret with you. When you're prospecting offline, you try to find opportunities to come in with your conversation, right? You ride on the already existing conversations. So you are in the midst of mothers and a conversation is going on about injury, or a conversation is going on about a child's skin, or the child not eating. You can take advantage of it, and guess what? You can slide in your multivitamin, you can slide in your tender care, and that's how to do offline prospecting. Offline prospecting is not going to stand at a junction and saying, today I'm going to stop 50 people and I'm going to talk to 50 people. The mistake that does is, number one, you're putting people on edge. You're going to get a lot of no's. You're going to scare the people you're talking to because they feel they have to do the same thing as well, right? So it's very important that you understand that when we say people you meet in church, people you meet in school, people you meet everywhere, it doesn't mean you meet them and stop them in their tracks and start telling them about Oriflame. It simply means that you learn how to insert your opportunity or your product into the conversation that is currently ongoing. That's the way to do it now, right? So I am at a PTA and I'm having conversations, or I bring out my hand cream, I apply it, and somebody says, oh, what is it? That's a cue. Insert yourself, right? Or I'm having a conversation with my doctor and my doctor is like, ooh, I like your skin. That's a clue. I insert myself. Or my doctor says, oh, I checked your labs. I know your labs have come out excellent. Everything is on point. That's my cue to insert wellness. So offline prospecting is living your normal life, but knowing when to insert your conversation, knowing when to insert your product, knowing when to insert your opportunity, knowing when to insert your services. That's the way offline prospecting should work, right? Attend networking events, attend events where people are introducing themselves. Oh, my name is this, I am a doctor. Oh, my name is Onyinye Okoye and I help people lose weight within a certain period of time, or I do this, I do that. You introduce yourself in such a way that you pique people's curiosity and people want to know what you do. So you don't have to boldly say, I am an Oriflame brand partner, I am a this, I am a that. No, there's a way you introduce yourself offline that's going to be appealing to the people who are looking for you, the people who need you, and the people who are willing to accept your opportunity, right? So it's very important that you take note of this. Now, let me also add this, right? Offline prospecting is very, very powerful. I love it. I love offline prospecting because people can feel your vibe, people can feel your energy, people can see the sincerity in your eyes, people can see the fire and the spark and the passion, that you carry. That's why it's important you talk about your product with passion. Don't talk about it with aggression. Talk about it with calmness. Talk about it chilling. Talk about it like, oh my goodness, this is like the best thing. When you do that, you unknowingly attract people to you. Now, I want to give you tips on how to do your offline prospecting. And my tip number one is this. You need to be confident, not desperate. Don't be in a hurry to insert a flyer in someone's hand or tell somebody to do this thing now. No. Be confident, but do not be desperate. If someone quickly says, no, I'm not interested, respect the person's boundary. If someone says, no, I don't want this, listen to the person. Be confident, don't be arrogant, don't be desperate. If somebody turns you off immediately, don't tell the person, do you know that my PD can buy your 1 year salary? No, don't do that. Don't get arrogant, but be confident, right? Number two, ask questions more than you talk. When you ask people questions, ask questions. Number two, ask questions more than you talk. When you ask people questions, guess what happens? They become excited. They want to explain themselves. They want to share that thing that is bothering them, right? People like to hear themselves talk. So ask people questions. Is in asking questions, you're going to peel off any issue they have and you're going to be able to solve problems. So ask people questions. Number three, listen to people's needs. Sometimes we're so quick to recommend, for example, you're so quick to recommend Pure Skin because the person just said, oh, I have an issue with my face, but you're recommending Pure Skin because it's Pure Skin you have to sell. No. Listen to the person's needs, ask questions, and you might discover that what might be more suitable for the person is Optimals or Love Nature. And if you sell the right product to someone, the person would likely see results and come back again. So while prospecting, it's important you listen. Some people might start by saying, no, I'm not doing this, and I've done something like this before. It did not work. They took all my money. And then you get angry. No, listen to the person. And from what the person has said, I can find an entry point. I'll be like, really? What company was that? What happened? Oh my goodness. And then I listen to the person and then I hear all the pitfalls, all the mistakes that the person made. And then that serves as an entry point for me because I can now come in and say, we don't do this way. We don't carry over it like this. This is how we operate in this company. You know, the more you listen to people, the more you find very easy points for you to slide in. I hope I'm making sense and you guys are finding value, right? If you're finding value, write the word value in the comment section. The next point is this: share stories. Share stories. People love to hear people's stories, and they don't necessarily have to be your story. I can share a story of someone in my team. Someone says, oh no, I'm not interested. I'm too busy. I'm a medical doctor, right? I'm like, oh, I understand how you feel. I truly understand how you feel. I have a medical doctor in my team who felt exactly the same way you felt. But after we went through her schedule, we're able to find 20 minutes a day. And guess what? She has built a sustainable business while still furthering her medical career. So it's very important that you understand that you tell stories. Tell stories. You know, you become a little bit of a psychologist. While you're listening to people, you hear their pain points and you're able to tell a story that they will relate to, right? Oh, it's not for me. I don't know how to talk. I don't know how to do this. There's a story of someone who is not a talker. There's a story of someone who is an introvert. So while prospecting, learn to listen, learn to ask questions, learn to tell stories, right? Very, very, very important. Now, focus on helping people, not convincing people. Focus on helping people, not convincing people. Now, I do this a lot. For example, if a parent comes to my school and is seeking admission for their child, I like to ask where they live, especially if they don't have a car. And they say they live like 2 or 3 buses away from the school. I would ask you, are you sure this is where you want to bring your child to? Have you considered transportation cost? Have you considered the distance? Why not find a school closer to you? Because the truth is, I sincerely want to help you. Because I know that in the long run, you might get frustrated with the distance. You might get frustrated with all of that. When you are focused on helping people, people would want to work with you. People would want to partner with you because they would see a sincerity from your heart. And in many cases, even though I'm doing this from the bottom of my heart, I'm not doing this as a trick. I somehow gain their confidence and they are willing to relocate their houses to houses closer to the school because they feel safe with me, because they feel I have put their needs above my wants. And that's the same way I want you to approach prospecting, right? Focus on helping people. What is that problem that they have? What is that problem that they've been dealing with? Focus on helping people. Now, you need to look presentable. When we're talking offline interaction, you need to look the part, girl. You can't be talking about money and you're not looking like money. You cannot be talking about a good lifestyle and it's not showing on your body, right? That's why you need to qualify for accessories. How many accessories do you have? You need to qualify for VIPs, get perfumes at 50% discount. You need to look the parts. You need to smell right. I'm not saying you should spend all the money decked out, but you need to at least be presentable. You cannot be talking about something and looking the opposite, right? You cannot be smelling and sweating and they're telling somebody to buy perfume and to buy roll-ons. It doesn't work that way. So please look presentable, right? Now, if you've gained anything from the tips I've shared with you with this offline prospecting, let me know the points you have gained in the comment section below, right? And if you have a question, put your question as well. I'm going to come back and I'm going to answer that question as well. Now, let's move to online prospecting. Woo! Online prospecting is the future, right? Online prospecting is the future. Online prospecting is now. Online prospecting is amazing, right? Online prospecting will give you visibility like this. I always tell my team members, online business, Oriflame, for example, gives me an opportunity to transcend geography. I can be living in Makurdi and I can have a team member in Abuja, and that's what online can do for you, right? So what is online prospecting? Online prospecting is simply using your social media and digital platforms to attract people to you. When you're prospecting, you're attracting people to you. Now, what are these platforms? Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn. All these platforms are at your beck and call, right? And today, your phone is no longer a communication device. It's no longer just a communication device. Your phone is a marketing office. Your phone is a branding tool. Your phone is a business center. Your phone is a global networking platform. You know, it's a global networking forum. Your phone is beyond just hello, hi, text me. Your phone can connect you to build legs thousands of kilometers away from you. And I want you to take online prospecting seriously. Now, what will online prospecting do for you? Number one, it will give you visibility. Number two, it will give you speed. Number three, it will give you leverage. Number four, it will give you global exposure. It will give you reach. You will reach people that you would ordinarily never have met in the first place, right? It will give you speed. I'm pressing enter and somebody in London is saying the message immediately. It will give you reach. It will give you visibility. It will give you leverage. I'm leveraging on other people in other locations. I'm leveraging on other people's skill. I'm building a team, leveraging because I'm taking advantage of online prospecting, right? You can literally talk to someone somewhere else, in another country, in another continent, and you're building a business. And thank God Oriflame is a global brand, right? Present in several countries of the world. So you can build with people all over Nigeria. You can build with people outside Nigeria as well. Now, the biggest online prospecting secret is this. Many of you have turned your social media platforms to infomercial. If I scroll through your platform, all I see is Tender Care, Love Nature, perfume, MRP, wellness. All you do is post product and you get boring, right? People don't want to follow somebody that has turned their page into an infomercial, right? Your page needs to give value. There are people you follow on social media. Why do you follow them? Oh, I follow them because they are funny. Oh, I follow them because they're exciting. Oh, I follow them because I learn one or two things from them. And that should tell you what to do. Are you exciting? Do you give people value, right? What is your niche? You need to be yourself, but you also need to teach people stuff, right? So stop posting only your products. To connect with people, you need to start posting your stories. Yes, share stories, share your transformation, share your lifestyle, be consistent. And when I say share, I'm not saying put all your life secret on social media. No, but of course, you are the one in control of your narrative. So you decide what you want people to see. Share your authenticity, connect with people. People connect with emotions first. People buy emotions before they buy products, right? It's a know, like, and trust factor. Because people think they know Onyinye Okoye, because people think they know me, they see that I like to cook, they see that I post my cooking videos, they see that I like to share tips about myself. Once in a while, I share my struggles. So they feel they know me psychologically and emotionally. And when I now put out a product to buy, they feel at ease to buy from me or to connect with me because they know me. So who are you? Are you letting people into your world? Are you sharing tips? Are you sharing a bit of comedy? You need to balance it out, right? Now, people will say, Coach Onye, so what should I post? Post testimonials, right? Post your journey, post training moments, post your personal growth moments, right? You're mixing an MRP in the morning, post it. Post your lifestyle moments, post before and after stories, post motivational content. These are amazing things that you can post. Now, curiosity opens the door that pressure cannot open. Curiosity opens the door that pressure cannot open. So it's very important that you learn how to get people to become curious about what you're offering. If you go through my page, for instance, you will see that I'm not just all about product, advert. I try as much as possible to reel you in, to pull you in, to give you value, so that by the time I give you product, you are interested, right? So you need to be consistent online. Online doesn't mean you come and post once a week. You come and post once in 2 weeks. No, you need to be consistent. Let me tell you something. You're supposed to post at least twice across all platforms every day. At least 2 times across all platforms. Now, what are the mistakes people make online? Spamming people. You don't even know the person. You start sending the person link. Join this meeting. Oriflame will change your life. Do this now. No. Copy and paste messages. Forwarded messages. Me personally, I don't like forwarded messages. If you send me a happy new month message and I see the forward signal, I am not going to respond to it. If you send me a forwarded message personally, I don't take you seriously. Because if I see that forward signal, it means you didn't think about me. You didn't put an extra thought to it, right? So I personally don't respond to that. So a lot of mistake people make is spamming people, looking desperate, entering people's inbox unasked. How would you feel if somebody just comes to your house unannounced? That's how people feel online as well. You're inconsistent. You post today, you don't post tomorrow. See, I am somebody who shops online a lot, right? If I'm looking for a product, let's say I'm looking for honey, and I type honey, and your page actually comes up, but I see that your last post was 1 month ago, 2 months ago, 3 weeks ago, I will not buy from you. In my head, I already think you're an inconsistent person. What's the guarantee that if I pay, you're going to answer me immediately, right? So inconsistency is a mistake. Spamming people is a mistake, right? Looking desperate is a mistake. Posting only pictures of your product is a mistake, right? No form of personal branding whatsoever. You are just spamming people, and then you're wondering why you're not seeing results. Nobody wants to be spammed, right? You need to ease out, build connections rather than just, spamming people. Don't do that online. Build connections. I always also used to say this: at least add 5 new friends across your social media every day. Add 5 new friends across your social media every day. Like and comment on other people's posts too. Increase your visibility so that your post is going to be pushed out as well. Increase your visibility is very, very important. Now, this is a reality check. Let's pause. Reality check. Some people will ignore you. Some people will laugh at you. And some people will say no to you. But guess what? That is normal. Yes. People still say no to our number one. People still say no to the number one in the world. So it's a normal thing. But do you give up because somebody has said no to you? Or do you give up because you've had 5 no's in a row? Because it's part of the journey. You need to go through several no's before you get yes. And remember, I said it's a numbers game. It's a people's game. So that's why you need to get more people into your funnel so that by the time you filter it out, you're going to get the reasonable number that you need. Now, let's compare online versus offline. Which one do you prefer? Let me see your comments in the comment section. Online versus offline. Which do you prefer? I want to see your comments in the comment section, right? Let me wait a little bit. Which do you prefer? Offline or online? Have you commented? To me, drum roll. I prefer both. I prefer both online and offline. Offline gives me depth of relationship and communication and connection. But online gives me reach that offline cannot give me. Offline helps me build more solid relationships, right? But online helps me build visibility that offline cannot give to me. Offline helps create personal connection, but online creates leverage. So the smartest people I know combine both of them. You need to combine both offline and online. You can create prospecting events in your child's school, in your community, in your estate. There's an event going on in your city. You can talk to them, get a stand. You can do things, mingle with people, meet new people offline. Because remember what I told you, the more people you meet, the more prospects you have, the more your chances of recruiting, right? It's the people that will lead to the growth. So let me round up by saying that there's power in consistency, right? Professionals prospect daily, even when the results are slow, even when the engagement is low, even when you have 1 like, even when nobody comments. It's none of your business. Keep posting, keep engaging, keep showing up, right? Keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up. The people who win are usually the ones who stay visible long enough. Yes. The people who win are usually the ones who stay visible long enough. Are you being visible physically, offline? Are you being visible online? These are questions you need to ask yourself. Now, let me take you back to the definition of prospecting. Finding people who may be interested in your product or your opportunity, right? So that means you need to meet more people. You need to connect with more people. And this is what both offline and online can do for you. Now, you need to keep finding that superstar, because one person can change your business. In fact, I wrote it down. I said, one person can change your business, but one leader can change your entire team. One conversation can shoot your income, but you never know who that next person is. And if you don't strike up conversations offline, you wouldn't know. If you don't post and remain consistent online, you wouldn't meet that person that would change the trajectory of your business. So I want you to keep posting. I want you to keep talking. I want you to keep inviting. I want you to keep learning. I want you to keep following up, and I want you to keep growing, because the fortune is truly in the follow up, right? Another leader is going to come up and really talk about follow up, because that's where the fortune is. But before you do follow up, you need to get the number in the funnel, right? You can see that a funnel is big, it's this big, and then it goes narrow. The more people you pour into this, the more quantity you're going to get out of it, right? So prospecting isn't something you should be afraid of. Prospecting is what is going to get you the recruits. But you need to learn how to prospect offline properly, right? Don't be aggressive. Don't be harsh. Learn to listen to people. Learn when to insert yourself in conversations. Learn how to be subtle, but at the same time, your presence can be felt. Online, learn to communicate. Learn to post consistently. Don't turn your page into an infomercial. Make sure people are learning something from you. People want to come back to your page to learn something, be it fashion, be it lifestyle, be it tips, whatever it is, right? So you need to keep showing up, right? No prospects, no growth. No conversations, no growth. No people, no growth. So prospecting is what leads to growth, and you need to prospect offline and you need to prospect online as well, right? Give yourself enough confidence, trust in yourself, show up, look great, and remember, listen more than you talk. That way, you're always going to find an amazing entry point to introduce your products or your opportunity. If you found any value, let me know in the comment section. I'm going to get back to the group and give you your task, right, that you're going to do after this video. So I'm going to drop the tasks in the group. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Coach Onyinye Okoye, and I'm super happy to have shared this topic with you guys.